The CEO of one of the most valuable private companies in crypto, a man who spent 5 years on Fox, Bloomberg, and CNBC fighting the SEC, has barely said a word in public for weeks. Not a single major interview. No keynote speeches. No Twitter threads picking fights with regulators. And the last time he did speak, he revealed something that changes everything about how you should think about Ripple right now. Here's what Brad Garlinghouse isn't telling you, and why that silence might be the loudest signal of all. Brad Garlinghouse has been the face of Ripple since 2016. Through the SEC lawsuit, through the bear market, through the exchange delistings, he was always there. On Bloomberg. On CNBC. On Fox Business. At Consensus. At Davos. In 2025 alone, he gave over 40 on-camera interviews. He testified before Congress. He debated crypto critics on national television. The man was everywhere. But since early June 2026, radio silence. His last major appearance was on Fox News Mornings with Maria on June 11, where he discussed the Clarity Act. Since then, nothing. No Bloomberg. No CNBC. No major conference keynotes. The question everyone's asking, if this is supposed to be the most bullish year in crypto history, why is its most vocal CEO suddenly mute? To understand the silence, you have to understand what Ripple just survived. December 2020, the SEC sues Ripple, alleging XRP is an unregistered security. The price crashes. Exchanges delist XRP. For 4.5 years, the company fights for its life. Brad revealed in July 2026 that the company came within hours of shutting down. Leadership seriously considered distributing the XRP treasury to shareholders and dissolving the company entirely. August 2025, both sides dropped their appeals. The final settlement, $50 million. A fraction of the $2 billion the SEC originally sought. But here's what most people missed, the SEC lawsuit cost Ripple $150 million in legal fees. That's 3 times the settlement itself. The legal battle didn't just drain the treasury, it drained the company's attention for half a decade. Now that it's over, Ripple isn't celebrating. They're working. While Brad went quiet, Ripple went on an acquisition spree that most of crypto barely noticed. 2023, Ripple acquires Metaco, a Swiss crypto custody provider, for $250 million. This gives banks the infrastructure to hold digital assets. 2024, they acquire Standard Custody, a US-based digital asset custodian. Now they have both international and domestic custody. 2025, the big one, GTreasury for $1 billion. A global treasury and liquidity management platform. This isn't crypto infrastructure. This is traditional finance infrastructure, with XRP built in. Then Hidden Road, a prime brokerage, for $1.25 billion. Total, over $3 billion in acquisitions. Ripple has raised $500 million at a $40 billion valuation. They've built a custody stack, a payment stack, a treasury management stack, and a prime brokerage, all in 36 months. This isn't a crypto company anymore. It's a financial infrastructure company that happens to use blockchain. And Brad isn't talking about it because the strategy speaks for itself. While everyone was watching Bitcoin ETFs and memecoins, Ripple's stablecoin quietly became a top player. RLUSD, Ripple's USD-pegged stablecoin, launched in late 2024 and has grown to over $1.5 billion in market cap. It's now listed on major exchanges including Bybit, with yield campaigns driving adoption. Ripple even partnered with Matt Damon's Water.org as the exclusive digital asset partner for the Get Blue campaign, using RLUSD to fund clean water access globally. But here's the real story, RLUSD trading volume on Aave hit $54 million, an all-time high. DeFi adoption of Ripple's stablecoin is accelerating. And Brad hasn't said a word about any of it. Why? Because RLUSD doesn't need a CEO to pump it. The product is doing the talking. Here's the real reason Brad might be staying quiet. The Digital Asset Market Clarity Act, H.R. 3633, passed the House 294 to 134 in July 2025. It cleared the Senate Banking Committee 15-9 in May 2026. And then it stalled. The bill has sat on the Senate legislative calendar since June 1 with no floor vote. The original target of getting it signed by July 4 was missed. Now the August recess is approaching fast. 3 disputes are blocking the vote: ethics provisions, market structure definitions, and stablecoin oversight. Trump reportedly agreed to an ethics compromise, but the clock is ticking. If the Clarity Act passes, it establishes a comprehensive regulatory framework for digital assets. XRP would be explicitly classified as a commodity. Every ETF would get regulatory clarity. Ripple's entire business model would be legitimized by federal law. If it fails, the regulatory uncertainty continues. And Ripple's $40 billion valuation depends on that uncertainty going away. Brad isn't talking because the most important battle of Ripple's existence is happening behind closed doors in the Senate, not on a Bloomberg camera. At XRP Las Vegas 2026, Brad finally addressed the IPO speculation directly. Ripple isn't going public anytime soon. His reasoning? Look at what happened to Gemini and Kraken after they went public. Underwhelming post-listing performance. The market doesn't reward crypto IPOs right now. But here's what that silence on IPO really means: Ripple doesn't need the money. They raised $500 million at a $40 billion valuation. They have over $1 billion XRP in their development war chest. They're generating revenue from payments, custody, and stablecoins. Going public would mean quarterly earnings calls, SEC disclosures, and answering to shareholders. Right now, Ripple can operate in stealth mode. And that's exactly what they're doing. So why has Brad Garlinghouse gone quiet? 3 converging forces. 1. The SEC nightmare is over. The old playbook of fighting on TV doesn't work anymore. The battle has moved from the courtroom to the Senate floor. 2. Ripple is integrating over $3 billion in acquisitions. Metaco, Standard Custody, GTreasury, Hidden Road. These don't need a CEO to promote them. They need engineers and product managers to make them work. 3. The Clarity Act is the biggest catalyst in Ripple's history. And the most important conversations are happening in private, between lobbyists and senators, not on cable news. Brad Garlinghouse spent 5 years as the loudest man in crypto because he had to. The company was fighting for survival. Now Ripple is worth $40 billion, processing trillions in payments, and building infrastructure that competes with Swift. The quietest CEO in crypto might just be the smartest one. If you found this breakdown valuable, drop a comment. Do you think the Clarity Act passes before the August recess? And subscribe for more deep dives into the stories behind crypto's biggest moves.